Today I'm going to talk about my first two wheelchair tennis tournaments and my whole experience with playing competitive tennis in a chair for the first time. Hey, if you're new around here, my name's Kalvin and I have a condition called FSHD, which is a form of muscular dystrophy that wastes certain muscles in my body over time. I used to be quite competitive as a kid in tennis. I played for about 12 years and then took 5 to 6 years away from the sport after I finished high school because I thought I couldn't play. And then late last year I found wheelchair tennis and got hooked, and now I've played my first two tournaments. So let's talk about that. If you're curious about how I prepared for these tournaments, I have a video somewhere from last week going over all that. So check that out if you want, and let's talk about my experience for these tournaments. I played the Greg Crump Cup and the Melbourne Wheelchair Classic, which is an ITF event. It was really cool. It was very eye-opening for me. It was a really great experience and I've learnt a lot that I'm keen to talk about. So there was a lot of build-up to the tournaments, for me anyway, because I was just really excited to get out there and play again. I couldn't really sleep the night before the first one because I was just itching to go. So there was a dinner event the night before the first tournament and people had flown in from all across Australia. There were people from Queensland, Perth, Canberra, I think. So that was really nice. We had dinner, met some people, and they also announced the teams. So we got a t-shirt and a hat, and yeah, and it was all set and ready to go for the next day. So how the teams event worked is that there were 6 teams broken off into 2 sides, 3 on one, 3 on the other. So you'd play the 2 other teams in your group and then you'd play an equal team from the other big group, if that makes sense. You'd play a singles and a doubles each round, I guess, each tie where you'd play the other team. And yeah, on the day of the first tournament, you'd rock up and meet your team and hang out with them, and you'd play a singles and a doubles. It was pretty good. The first singles I played, I got cleaned up. We played best of 3 sets, but the sets were 4 games long. So I lost 4-love, 4-1 to a guy called Glenn who'd been playing for a little while. And yeah, it wasn't even competitive. He completely cleaned me up, but it was a really good experience because I learnt just how bad my chair handling skills are. He sort of just hit me around the court. I then played doubles against Glenn and someone else, and we lost 4-love, 4-love, so that was close. And again, that was a good eye-opening experience. It's been really good to play against people who are better than you. It's definitely a way faster way to learn. You find out what you're bad at really quickly, which is cool. I did manage to get 2 wins, I think. I won a singles and a doubles, which was nice. Did a few good shots, a lot of bad ones, but overall our team came 5th out of 6th, so not last, so I'll take that. It was really fun, and I think they're going to do this teams event every year, so super excited for next year. It's going to be really cool. So that team event went from Wednesday to Thursday, and then the next tournament was the Melbourne Classic, which started on Friday, and if you made it far enough, went till the Sunday. And that was a slightly different vibe. Like, it was a bit more serious because it is technically a professional level tournament. So I was entered in the men's open singles and the men's doubles, and I played a guy called Dave who was actually in my team for the teams event, who's a really cool guy from Queensland. He's been playing for 30 odd years, and yeah, he beat me quite easily. 6-1, 6-1. My goal was to get 1 game and I got 2, so doubled my goal, which is cool. It was clearly just, experience and just being better that won that. He was really able to hit me around and move me around the court really easily. So I sort of had a mix of excitement and nerves going into the first match of that tournament because it is technically my first professional tournament in a chair, so that was cool. Although the score was quite one-sided, to me it didn't feel like that. Probably to him it did, but to me I kind of always felt in the rally, if that makes sense. A lot of my chair skills obviously aren't there yet, so he was able to hit a lot of winners and move me around the court. But once I got into some of the rallies, I didn't feel like I was playing bad tennis. So I guess that's a little bit encouraging. We'll see how it goes, but because I lost in the first round, that means I can enter something called consolation, which is for all the people who lose in the first round. They play their own little tournament. But before that happened, I had men's doubles, which was the next day. So I played with a guy called Matt, who was from Canberra, and he'd been playing for a few years and he was quite good. And we played two of the top 5 juniors in the world. So, you know, they were quite good, and we lost 6-love. And as with the previous game, the obviously scoreline very one-sided, and there's clearly a big skill level gap between me and those guys. But it didn't feel like a level, like we weren't getting hit off the court or anything. Like, we were competitive once we got into the rally, but there were just a lot of unforced errors made by me that I just hit them straight out, or I didn't get the chair in the right spot, so I wasn't sure whether to hit a forehand or a backhand, and then it just ended up coming straight at me. So yeah, as one-sided as the scoreline was, it didn't really feel like that to me. Like, it feels like a level that's reachable with a lot of hard work and time. So that's pretty encouraging for me. As I keep saying, it was a really great experience to play such high-level people. These guys are really talented and they're really good, and to be able to play them was a massive privilege, and I've definitely learnt heaps in the 4 days that I played. So after doubles, I played consolation singles against my doubles partner Matt, actually, and I lost 6-1, 6-3. And the second set was actually closer than it sounds. I had a few chances to get ahead quite a bit in that set, but couldn't quite manage to get that done. I had a little bit of trouble switching on and sort of focusing and trying to, like, wanting to win. But later in the tournament, especially the game against Matt, the last game I played, I felt focused and I felt like I wanted to win, and as a result I played a lot better tennis, which who would have thought. But yeah, I think it's encouraging that competitiveness is coming back. I'd also like to change my mindset when playing matches. I sort of went in just assuming I'd lose really easily, which is not really the way to go about it, I don't think. So it was almost as if I'd given the win to my opponent before we'd even stepped on the court. Because I just assumed, you know, I've only been playing for this long and they've been playing for that long, or, you know, they're ranked high, so I must be terrible, that kind of stuff. So if I go into future matches believing I can be competitive, that goes a long way to pushing me in that direction. And that was my first tournament ever, and I'm not unhappy with any of the results. Like, none of them were close in scoreline, but I learnt so much and had the best time, so I cannot complain. It was so worth it. The wheelchair tennis community is so lovely. I'd also like to give a quick thank you to my friends George and Louise, who came down to watch me. That really made a big difference, and I really appreciate that you guys got down, as well as my family, Mum and Jasper, and my dad. So thank you for that. It was really nice to have some support there, and it was really cool. So from now on, I'm just going to try to train hard and improve my level before the next tournament. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And yeah, thanks for watching if you stuck around this long. I'll see you next week. Bye.